SQL Query Tuner is a tool that comes as part of an add-on product to SQL Diagnostic Manager and what we call SQL Diagnostic Manager Pro. SQL Query Tuner has some primary features that it provides in addition to what you're getting out of SQL Diagnostic Manager's core architecture, and that would include the ability to extract database objects, the ability to profile overall load on a SQL instance and down to databases and sessions and what type of activity is happening for a period of time. You also have the ability to analyze queries and look at execution plan and even tune queries. And it will actually put the query through a number of different test cases and show you different ways to rewrite the query to get better performance. You can also do load testing with this product. So those are the primary benefits, and it is a lightweight tool that can run from your workstation essentially. The product is focused on support for Microsoft SQL Server. When you come into the product, you'll want to profile the activity probably first. You can also take individual queries and plug them in by clicking the little SQL button up here at the top of the console, which will open up a different window pane to plug in your ad hoc queries for testing as well. And we'll get to that here in a moment. I've already profiled performance, but just for testing purposes, I'm going to right click on this instance on the left hand side, and I've created a data source to that instance, so I will start profiling performance as it is happening right now. And we'll come back to this in a minute. You'll see though as I start profiling that it starts lighting up with overall workload and showing or displaying what activity is happening on the SQL instance. Going back over here to the profile I performed previously, I can take a query on the left hand side of the lower pane and either look at execution plan like this, which will show me the overall cost of the operation or every little step underneath the hood about everything that was going on through the execution of that statement and the cost associated with each step. Or I can right click on the query and tune the query. Now if I select to tune the query, it'll bring up a separate tab for that query, and I can configure the tuning around that query and have it do a number of different tests. I have it executing in this case one time, but it's going to test, and for this particular query, the way it has been written, it will analyze first, and as you can see, it has 143 different test cases that it wants to put this query through to see if it can improve the performance. It also has various index recommendations here on the right, which if I want to analyze that a little closer, I can select the Analysis tab, and at the very bottom it will show me what new indexes should be created, any indexes that were actually used during the test, any indexes that would potentially be used, and notice I can mouse over any of the little icons here to see the little pop-up to explain what it's displaying, and of course any indexes that are considered not useful as well. There's also additional information around table statistics, column statistics, and histograms, and overall execution plan guides. Now going back over here to the overview screen where we have all these different test cases that it put my query through, we can see if there were any benefits. And the benefits are highlighted in green, which indicates that the improvements were greater than 10%. If we see red with any of the test cases, that means the performance degraded by greater than 10%, and the blue indicates that we fall within the plus or minus 10%. So obviously I'm going to look for multiple green displays here on different values, and I can see like the second way that it rewrote the query here shows a significant improvement in elapsed time and overall cost associated with that simple rewrite. And even the one below that, this hash join query, seems to have some improvements as well. So I can stick with probably either one of those, but whatever I decide, a quick right click will pop up this menu and I can select this compare to parent, and it will show me the original query and the second way to rewrite the query, highlighting where I need to go to rewrite the query and displaying what I need to do to rewrite the query. We can do testing of both the original query as well as the second. For today, I'm just going to select the second query with the rewrite, copy that query, and we'll go back and open the little SQL window, paste in the query, and execute. and let it return the results. Now remember, I'm still profiling. When we started this video, I kicked off a profile session, so that's still running. If I want to go back and analyze the performance from this query, it's simple. I just go back to the profile window. This is what we're seeing so far with all the query activity that's been executing, but I'm going to filter by application at the top and just choose this IDERA SQL Query Tuner application, which will show me all the queries that have been executing from this particular application, and it pulls only that activity, removing anything else that would muddy the water, so to speak. And again, we can highlight a section of time and isolate what the query performance looked like for that new rewritten query. Furthermore, I can take the query that has been rewritten and perform a load test. There is a little load testing window here where you can paste in ad hoc SQL or SQL file, select a certain number of sessions to execute with a certain time period or certain number of executions, and either fixed time delay or random time delay between each iteration of execution. And again, go back to the profile to see what the performance looked like as it performed those tests. So those are the ways that we can use this product to provide benefits around query tuning. Again, this is a very easy product to install, lightweight as far as the architecture goes, but provides a lot of benefits in addition to what you get with SQL Diagnostic Manager, and it is what we call SQL Diagnostic Manager Pro. Hopefully this video has been useful to show you how to do query analysis and tuning, and even some load testing from that standpoint. If you want to download the product, it comes as part of, again, the SQL Diagnostic Manager Pro installation. So go out to www.idera.com, download SQL Diagnostic Manager, and one of the links that will be provided will include the SQL Query Tuner, which you can install and try out. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk to your account manager and set up a time to talk to either me or any of my team on the technical side, and we can work with you on a more one-to-one formal discussion. Other than that, have a great day.